I'm here to tell you that you need to start posting your content now. And you need to be posting it consistently. And I'm going to tell you why, based off of my own experiences and my own, I guess you could call it regrets. And hopefully it helps you. By the end of this video, hopefully you would be somewhat motivated, at the very least, to post your first piece of content tomorrow or right now, whichever makes the most sense for you. If you don't know who I am, or if you're new to this channel, my name is Joe Granitto, and I have been an automotive photographer for over 6 years, but I have been a content creator for only about 10 months consistently. And I've had multiple failed starts over the years. So I'm going to give you a few bits of advice and experience that has helped me do what I do now, and hopefully teach you from my mistakes of what I've done in the past. Because right now I could be in a totally different situation than I am. Not that I regret it. I love the situation I'm in, but I definitely have been missing a piece of this for a very long time. I have tried my start on YouTube and social media posting way back in 2017, and I flopped pretty hard. And it wasn't because the content I put out was garbage, it was because I myself was garbage. And I think that the issue I was having was I wasn't passionate about what it was that I was posting about. I have this big passion for cars, I have a passion for photography, and I have a passion for technology. And when I was making content originally, I was trying to be like content creators I followed on YouTube or Instagram. And I tried so much to be like them that I didn't like it. And everything I created, I didn't put out there because I thought it was garbage. Posting on social media consistently for the last 10 months about my biggest passions has yielded me a following of 137,000 followers on Instagram. And I've also been posting on TikTok, which is just shy of 1,500 followers. And here on YouTube, I have 1,340 subscribers. And you might be thinking, well, if you've been posting for 10 months, why is Instagram doing so good? It's probably because my focus is photography. And originally, Instagram is a photography app, but that's just semantics. What I have done and what I think you need to be doing if you're considering posting content on social media or here on YouTube is focus on things that you're passionate about. I can't tell you how easy it is for people to snuff out the BS that people put out there on the internet these days. It's very easy. I could be sitting here talking to you about something that I'm not passionate about, and you'd be able to know. But when I tell you that I have poured my heart and soul into cars, camera, and tech, it's easy. I started loving cars ever since I was a kid when my dad had his project car that he had me help him on. And it was a 1989 Ford Mustang 5.0 LX. The LX was not as cool. It was a Fox body car. I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I learned everything I knew with that car. And I eventually owned my own project car, which is a 1990 Toyota Celica GT. And that car didn't run when we got it. My dad and I worked on it together, and it got me through college. Now I drive a supercharged 2013 Scion FRS, and I own a 2023 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium. So there's me nerding out about cars. But cameras, I picked up my first camera, like DSLR camera, back in 2018, which is actually this one. This is the Nikon D3400. It's actually a starter camera that a lot of people have used, and I didn't realize that until this past year, but this was my workhorse for 6 years straight. And I'd post photos on Instagram here and there of all the automotive work that I would do. And when I mean automotive work, I mean I'd go to local events that were free, take pictures of strangers' cars and post them on the internet. Or I post pictures of my own car on the internet with my own car page. And I would, sometimes take pictures of my friends' cars or my brother's car and put it on the internet. That was it. That was pretty much it. I'd get a little bit of attention here and there. I wasn't some well known photographer in my area. Nobody knew who I was. But I always felt this passion towards photography, putting my work out there, and having other people see it and enjoy it. So, number one, find something that you're passionate about and put it out there. And it doesn't have to be anything specific, it doesn't have to be like this very meticulous thing. Just film yourself doing the thing that you love doing and put it out there. In fact, this is my new camera. This is the Sony A7 IV. 10 months ago, I bought this camera. And that was also the same time that I strapped my GoPro to my head and started going out and taking pictures of my own car. My own car to start off with. And then I took out my other car to take pictures of. And then from there, I took pictures of my brother's car. And then of my friend's car. So on and so forth. And I started going to local events and taking pictures and documenting my process. And I started getting one-on-one clients who would hit me up, say, hey, I want photos of my car. And from there, I've had consistent photography opportunities because I've simply been documenting my passion. And that's it. I didn't have to do anything special. I didn't have to do any flashy edits. I didn't have to do any cinematic reel or anything like that. I just documented it. And the best part about it is that I took two passions of mine and I merged it into one. And that has allowed me to find the joys in doing this, and it has allowed me to post as consistently as I have been posting for 10 months. I have not missed a day. This camera has taken so many pictures so far, and it has been a true godsend for me, honestly, because this has really reignited my passion for photography, and going through this process has done that as well. So, number one, find a passion that you love doing all the time. Document your passion, which I guess is step number two. And number three, which if we're going to put some time into this, if we're going to be as consistent as we're being, then we need to throw perfectionism out the window. And I mean with like the utmost respect to people's work and my own work, that the perfect photo or the perfect video or the perfect script, whatever it is that you're trying to perfect, it does not matter. I'm talking to you without a script. I am going straight off the cuff. I dislike scripts. I should probably work on it and get better at it. But I know that when this video goes up, that it's my true, genuine thoughts that I'm putting out there. And no matter how many filler words I use, how many struggles I have with speaking, pauses, stuff like that, whatever. My sleep deprivation is not keeping me from doing this. I have a newborn child, takes a lot of effort. I have a full-time job, takes a lot of effort. I'm still doing this, even though I know that this is not going to be perfect. All the photos I post over the last 10 months, I know are not perfect. There's some photos I even put out, like the ones I put out today, that I didn't really like because they weren't as sharp as I wanted them to be, or they weren't color graded the way I wanted them to be. But I did it anyways. When you're wanting to do something consistently, the improvements that you get will come to you along the way. When I was taking pictures with this camera for 6 years, I wasn't posting daily. I was posting maybe once every couple of weeks. And if it was Cars and Coffee that I went to, I'd probably post a few photos from that for a couple days and be like 1 or 2 photos per post, and then I'd be done with it. But with this camera, one photo shoot gets me about 5 days of content between the video and the photos. And this has yielded me much more experience and growth in 10 months than my camera previously in 6 years. The amount of growth that you can do by forcing yourself to do it, and when I say force, it really shouldn't feel like a job because, again, it's your passion. But I force myself, no matter what, every single day. I'm posting twice a day. Every single weekend, I have at least one photo shoot. I'm going out and I'm shooting every single weekend like I used to with my old camera. But when I was with my old camera, it was my car. It wasn't other people's cars. Now it's other people's cars. And so in 10 months, because I've been so consistent and because I ditched the perfectionism, I've been able to grow to 137,000 followers on just one platform. Now, obviously, you want to have a little bit of skill. You obviously want to learn and grow. So, as you're doing this, make sure that you're finding things you don't like, figure out how to fix and make it better, and then do it, implement it. If you learn something new on YouTube, don't just learn it, go out into the field and implement it. Perfectionism, though, is never going to come because with a skill like photography, it's an art. And the only people who can really, I don't know, critique your work is really yourself because your work is what you perceive it as. And if other people admire your art, great. If people don't, okay, they can move on. So perfecting something is definitely not going to be worth your time. 80% of the effort that you put into it is more than enough. There's a phrase I heard from someone I follow. I can't remember what it was, but getting to 80% perfect is better than 100% because you spend so much time working on the last 20% of perfect, of what is perfect to you, that you miss your opportunity altogether. Now, you may be thinking, what kind of opportunities can I get by putting out imperfect work on a very consistent basis? Well, I mean, you grow and you get better for sure. But one of the biggest things that people like to try to get out of social media posting consistently or here on YouTube consistently is opportunities to do things that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to do. That could be free events. Maybe somebody gets you in somewhere for free that you've always wanted to go do. Maybe you get to fulfill a dream that you've always had but never thought you could achieve it. Or you get to work with a brand that you align with and you love their things, you love their culture, you love what they stand for, whatever. I'm going to give you 3 examples. First example is going to be the smallest one. Local organizer for a rally gave me a free ticket to be in the rally. And the only stipulation was I just take pictures. Not for them, just I come along, I take pictures, I do what I do, I post them on social media, but I get a free rally out of it. And I took up on that opportunity. And I've been to it before and I've paid my way before, but this time I didn't have to pay my way. I thought that was really awesome, really fun experience. That's a small thing. That's something local. And that's because the consistency I put into it, the amount of work I put into it, my name is more recognized in my local community. So opportunities like that can come up. They don't always come up, but it can happen. The second thing, which is going to revolve around brand deals. When I picked up this camera, there's a cover on the front of it, and it's for a filter company by the name of Polar Pro. Now, if you are a photographer or a filmmaker, videographer, what have you, you may recognize the name Polar Pro. I hit 50,000 followers on Instagram because of a video that was going viral. And that video will have taken me from 35,000 followers to over 100,000 followers in a span of a couple weeks. But at 50,000 followers, I made a post thanking all of the people who started following me and everyone who's been around since day one. Polar Pro commented on it. They've commented on my stuff in the past before, like, hey, awesome work, emojis, what have you. But this comment was different. It was saying something along the lines of great work, keep it going. And I messaged him and I said, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. They followed me on Instagram and then they messaged me and they gave me an opportunity to get something from them because I had bought a filter from them this year in January, and it's this one. So it's a polarizer filter. I got the kit, so I have like the base rings and all that stuff that comes with it. I paid my own money for this filter and the kit that came with it. And when they reached out to me, they offered to give me another filter. No strings attached, no contract, no specific promotion I have to do for them. And it's this one, which is a polarizer and also an ND8 from the Chris Burkhardt series, which is what both of these filters are. And I have to say, like, when I got that message, just in general, I was just like freaking out. I was down here in my basement. I was editing. I was just doing my thing. And I ran upstairs to my wife, who was pregnant at the time. And I like start crying. I was like, this is so exciting. Like, this is a brand I've always wanted to not work with, but I've always wanted to own their product. And I never thought I would ever have the opportunity to work with him ever or interact with him ever. I just wanted to be able to afford their filters. And I love their gear. And I've been a huge fan of Peter McKinnon ever since I started my photography journey. So when I saw like his filters were through them and stuff like that, I was like, dude, Polar Pro's got some awesome stuff. I've researched them a lot. And I was like, dude, I just want these. So they sent it out. And again, no strings attached. And I used it, and I talk about it in this video I made on a photo shoot because I just geeked out about it. I love this filter so much. But then I got advice from a YouTuber. I forget his name. Andres Vidosa. I probably butchered that. I am so sorry. Again, very little sleep. But I got some advice from him when I was in a cohort. And he said that that's my golden ticket. I was like, I don't know what you mean by what golden ticket is. He's like, that is what you need to get into the creator space to do what you want to do as a job. And his recommendation was make a video about the filter they sent me, praise it, get the views, get the engagement, and reach back out to them. And so I had already filmed that video or that photo shoot. I didn't have to go manufacture anything because I was already talking about their filter because I genuinely love their filter. And so I sent that video to them and I pitched myself to them saying, hey, I talked about this filter you guys sent me. I love it. Here's the engagement rate on it. Here's how people are responding to it. And I asked if there was ever an opportunity in the near future that I could do some sort of branding deal with them, whatever their stuff looked like, to let me know. Well, they reached back out almost immediately, which was very surprising. And they said, yeah, we can probably work with you. And they gave me a contact information. And I was, again, running up to my wife, freaking out like a schoolgirl, like, holy crap. They replied. They told me this, and I'm going to send this email, and I'm going to pitch myself again. And so I send the email. And there's no promise of anything. It's just, we'll see if we can work with you. When I sent that email, I did the same pitch. I was very professional. I get a really kind-hearted message back saying like, yeah, we can see about working with you and see if there's room in our program or whatnot. And so the first thing that they sent me was this filter, which is a collaboration with Short Stash, another awesome photographer. And they sent this out to me. I did a promo for them, got paid for it. So I got the filter for free. I even got paid for it. And that was it. I was like, that was my first ever sponsored post. It did need some iterating on it because, with it being my first sponsored post, I had no idea how to do any of this. I had to make a script. I had to make sure I was hitting points on it to really showcase the filter itself. And it was very difficult. But I had the opportunity to work with this brand that I've looked up to for so long. And 6 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this because nobody would have known my name. Nobody would have ever seen my work. And they saw my work because I tagged them in every single post I have that I use their products in, which is every post because I use their filters for my GoPro. And then I started using their filters for my camera. And that's when I got their attention because they started seeing my work and they saw that I was using their stuff and they saw an opportunity to work with me. And So far, it has been awesome. Here recently, I got these two filters from them, and they're brand new filters they released with Peter McKinnon. And I'm currently working on content for these. Like I got some stuff filmed. I'm gonna look at it, make sure it meets the points I set for myself, because this was an exchange for free. So I got free filters. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm also not getting paid to talk about them on this video. I just wanted to clarify that. This is me just talking about my experience. And so I purchased one filter from them for my camera, but now I own five. I bought my first filter from them in January, 5 months ago. And since then, I've chatted with them over email, over message, and super cool people, awesome company, fantastic products. And I wouldn't have been able to do that years ago. And even 10 months ago, when I started posting consistently on social media, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would ever have the opportunity to work with a brand, let alone a brand I actually love, a brand that I actually want to use their products. Like if I were to purchase all these on my own, it probably costs a little bit more than my lens, honestly. I mean, these are not cheap. And there's some other brands that I dream of working with. Like I dream of working with Sony. I dream of working with Toyota. Oh my God, if I could work for Toyota, I would be over the moon. Like I have these dreams, and I'm sure you have dreams too, working with some brand that you look up to or that you align with, and working with some creator that you look up to. Like there's so many different things that you can unlock for yourself by simply posting your work. And not just posting it every once in a while and you get your 10 likes or 15 likes, or you get a couple comments from like your mom and your friends and your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whoever. Like consistently posting. And it doesn't have to be every single day, twice a day like I do. It could be 3 times a week. It could be 5 times a week. You could do 7 times a week. I do 14 posts every single week because one reel, one carousel post. And that's extreme. Some people do more, some people do less. But the the common denominator in all this is consistency. And I know that this has been a very long-winded, rambling section about this, but I can't stress enough, other than by showing you the proof, that in 10 months, I've gone from an absolute nobody when it comes to photography or automotive scene or content creation to working with a brand that I've looked up to for 6 years. And they didn't, excuse me, and they didn't know who I was until a few months ago. Now, I'm definitely not a creator like Peter McKinnon, Chris Burkhardt, or Short Stash, but I'm still a content creator that can provide value to people. And those are like juggernauts as far as the creative world is concerned. Far superior photographers, filmmakers, videographers, whoever than me. But I still get some opportunities that they have also gotten in the past. And just because it's not anything super massive, it's still massive to me. Because to me, I could have only ever dreamed of it. And so, fun fact, when you talk about getting started and using what you have and just going out there and doing what you do and documenting it, I'm not filming this on my expensive camera rig. I'm filming this on my iPhone. And granted, I'm using the DJI mic that I got a couple weeks ago, but I could be doing this without a microphone. I could just be doing this with my phone. And I get a lot of people who ask me, like, how do I get started in photography? Just start with your phone. How do I get started in videography or filmmaking? Well, I'm not a filmmaker or necessarily a skilled videographer, but use your phone and just document your process, document your passions, do it consistently, and the rest will come. But don't fake it. Don't manufacture it. Just be your genuine self, even if it's just doing what I'm doing right now. So I don't know how long this video's gone on for, but I'll leave it there. And if you have anything that you would want to talk about like your passions or talk about like what you would love to do with your content creation, leave me a comment down below. And if you stuck around this long, thank you. I hope to grow this channel uh, as much as I've been able to grow my Instagram. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider subscribing and see more videos. Maybe not exactly like this, but I kind of like this. It's off the cuff. No script, no fancy camera, just my iPhone. And my two dogs. You can't see them, but they're off to the side. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time.